So I'm just going to give the briefest of introductions for the next 3 talks that follow this one, so that you understand what the aim of these talks is. So just to reiterate, this is all about writing and how you write about these technical sections. What do we mean by a technical section? For the purposes of this, we're thinking about the methods that you're going to be using. So we're going to talk about statistical methods, health economic methods, and qualitative methods. So that's what we mean when we say you're thinking about the sort of technical aspects of a research proposal. So the following sessions are going to talk a bit about how you work with your methodologist team members, what to expect when you work with the methodologists, what your methodologists will want from you, and how you make sure that those technical details are adequately presented. But what this isn't about is teaching you those methods, and it's definitely not about trying to replace any input that you would be getting from your methodologist team members. So this is really just a bit of framing for you. So thinking about the kind of guidance that funders have and where they expect you to write about methods in an application form. If you look in the guidance notes, even in the plain English summary, it does say to consider using the design, consider including the design and the methods used. So they will expect something in there, even if it's in plain English, they will expect it to be in there. In the scientific abstract, it does say that the headings and the elements should include the methods that are being used. And clearly, a big area will be the research plan itself, and that this should provide sufficient methodological detail. It should address how the analysis will be conducted. And it does say specifically for statistical aspects, any power calculation should be independently verifiable, which means you need to have enough information in there for someone to replicate that. And clearly, if you get to have a detailed project description in some kind of an upload, you'll need to think there about kind of what are the methods and how are you going to discuss them and present them in that section. And that allows you the opportunity for more details and more kind of discussion of the choices and the decisions that you've made. So thinking about methodologists in the funding process, you will have picked up already over the last day and a half that the panels, certainly for NIHR, will generally have at least one of each of a statistician, a health economist, and a qualitative methodologist. So you will have people on the panel who will look very specifically at those sections and will be reviewing them. And also the peer review process will include at least one methodological review, and it may be more. So there are a few different eyes who are going to be looking at this section. So what are they looking for? Essentially, they want evidence that you've got a sensible plan going on that's related to any of their fields. So some of the things we've mentioned in the worked example this morning, whether that's about how you're sampling, how you're going to collect your data, definitely how you're going to analyse it. And they also want to check that your team has the right expertise to deliver that aspect of the work. So whether that's that you have particular co-applicants and that they've got a track record with those methods and the kind of study that you are proposing to deliver. That also includes having realistic costings in terms of the time that they are allowed on the project. So that needs to be realistic too. So as a general point, you should engage with your methodologists early when you're planning your study and planning to submit. The more that they can input early on, that can be really helpful, and it means you'll get more support from them. So that's better all round. It helps if you know the literature. Methodologists may not be able to help you out with that bit and may rely on you to know that bit, and they will be bringing kind of their methods expertise. And if you have at least a vague idea of what it is you want to do, they can help guide you as to what are those best methods and then how to present them.